the big day. Stories run wild in the craziest way. From Vegas nights to beach town vibes. We're laughing your party, you're in for a ride. Bachelor mayhem, city lights glow. Wild adventures, let the good times roll. Planning tips, crazy trips, we've got the guide for the ultimate party. No thrill denied.
Welcome back to Drunk in Suits. How you doing, Will Kroboth?
I am doing great. How are you doing, Bobby Carlson?
Doing great. To the viewers, if you are just chiming in, this is a podcast about different cities across America and what they have to offer for bachelor parties. We're going to be breaking down what the city has to do during the day, during the night, what we think about the bachelor parties, and then hopefully having some crazy stories coming in. If you're out there with a crazy story from a bachelor party in the past, if you don't want to be shown or keep it anonymous, that's completely fine, but we want to hear it. So let us know. This is Drunken Suits. Let's get after it. Today we got a very exciting one. You excited, Krobo?
I could not wait. This is going to be a fantastic city we're going to talk about today.
It is. It's really exciting. I'm already in my head rating it pretty high. This is somewhere I've been wanting to go for a while, so I was pretty excited doing this research.
Me too.
So,
this one's been on the bucket list.
So the whole reason this podcast started was because two of our friends have gotten engaged, and one of them came to me and basically said for his bachelor party, what he's looking for is some food, has to have alcohol, maybe some live music and a couple cool restaurants, maybe a couple of strip clubs, and definitely some casino time too. And in my head, trying to put all that together, I didn't know where to start, but I did have an idea, and it took me to the city of New Orleans.
Let's go.
Or also known the Big Easy, NOLA, or the city that never sleeps and the party never ends.
This is going to fit the vibe of the individual that you're talking about. I think fantastic. So I know you got some special honors in being the best man there. So I'll let you kick this one off. How about that?
Yeah, but I mean, I'm still really early in this process of planning. I'm thinking about we're just about a year out from when I'm thinking it would be. So this is kind of the time I'm really trying to kick into drive. But the more I look into New Orleans, it's kind of fitting everything that he told me he's looking for. I mean, let's just get into some facts about New Orleans to start. The city itself, huge influence from all around, from French, African, and American cultures all mixing. Came up with this great food, great architecture, all different stuff. What I think is really cool is it is a bachelor party destination. This is one of the ones people go to all the time. So
Absolutely.
I know you have some facts too. Do you know how many people are there?
I got 380,000. That's the number I found.
I found 365, but really, what's 15,000 people going to change it, really? So
rough ballpark.
Yeah, rough ballpark. You know, time changes too. Average age, I was seeing around about 38.
Yep.
Yeah, which is pretty cool. That's a pretty young in my books, maybe like starting some families there. But also, I don't know if you saw this one in 2023. Do you know how many people visited New Orleans domestically?
Nope.
17.8 million people.
That's a lot. That's a ton.
It's a lot of people. That's a whole lot of people. So, I mean, this is a tourist destination. It's a must go. I know there's a lot of people out there that are like, I have to see New Orleans before I die. I have to go to Mardi Gras, and we'll get into Mardi Gras, don't you worry. But it's known just as a party. So, and there's so much more than just partying there too. I think it's really great for different bachelor parties that are looking into it. So let's stay tuned this whole episode. Listen to see what fits in your into what you're looking. But we have somebody that called in as well. We're doing an interview this interview, so let's get into it, man. Let's get into it.
Yeah. You know, right, New Orleans started, I think you kind of mentioned it, as a French colony. So there's a lot of that French influence where you're going to see wherever you go throughout the town. Just the city overall, very like rich in culture, a lot of different food, a lot of great food. Um, and basically, the party areas are open 24/7. They have the open containers. It just sounds like an ideal bachelor party location. So
Also
I'm
sounds
fired up.
dangerous.
It does sound dangerous. Yeah. Hopefully, you got at least one responsible person in your party.
Nah, screw it. You'll have a great time. If you don't.
That's on you. If you don't have a great time in New Orleans, I think that's on you.
Then you're doing it wrong. Even if you're that group that's like, I'm not the craziest partiers, from my research, there is plenty to do here that would be so much fun, whether it's daytime or nighttime. Let's kind of get into what the daytime offers.
Yeah. Yeah. Sounds good. You got a lot of different
No.
outdoor activities.
I'm taking the first one. Because
Okay.
I wanted to rank up on you. I think everywhere I looked, I saw the swamp tours.
Okay.
Oh, is that what you're going to say for number one?
It wasn't, but go for it.
I won. Swamp tours on airboats. I thought that was going to be your number one, so I wanted to steal it before you could say it. It was all my research I did. I saw these swamp tours, seeing some gators, and getting on these airboats. Basically, you're flying on top of the water, huge fans behind you. You could get a big group on these boats. You could see, you know, since we've done this interview already, you could see 0 or 100 alligators. There's a big difference. So the crazy thing is, when you're doing this, it's different timings of years and whatnot. But these tours seem electric. During the day, I couldn't imagine getting the boys together, trying to crack like a beer on an alligator's tooth to shotgun. Oh, that sounds wild. I don't know if they would really let you do that, but that sounds wild.
Yeah, I'll leave that one to you, man. That's that's a bit much, but
It's a bit much,
absolutely.
yeah.
Like, it would be kind of crazy, get to see some alligators, potentially feed them. I saw that was part of them too, or even just like tours around the swamps. Checking out different areas. Not to get
Yeah,
too far away
especially
from it, like the river boat tours as well. I guess that's kind of related.
yeah. I mean, absolutely, definitely, just right on that Mississippi Delta right there. Um, but I mean, if you're traveling to go to New Orleans, this is some stuff that maybe you've never seen before. It's a totally different swamp, like a swamp area is not like something you really see every day. And alligators, maybe you've never seen in your life. They don't go that far north. There's like kind of a line that they don't really cross. So it could be really cool for your group to go see something that they've never seen.
Yeah, I think that's got to be up there. Something activity to do. Um, I'm gonna switch directions a little bit.
Yeah.
So I guess my first one isn't a specific destination or anything, but I was gonna say seeing just all the live music. New Orleans is entirely known for live music, but specifically like the jazz and blues scene. Tons of places, and I think we'll get into some of the specific or iconic ones a little bit later. But gotta check out the music. That's a given. You have to.
Totally agree. And I think it's really cool. There's live music in almost every bar and all times during the day. So it's like not every place during the day, but there's live music to be seen, even street performers. So that's a great pull. All right, well then I'm taking my next one. I'm kind of banking on the last one of the swamp tour and getting on a boat. I'm getting on a boat again, but chartering a boat to go out fishing. New
Nice.
Orleans, right, is on the Gulf of Mexico or America, whatever you want. We're not getting political out here, but it's right on the Gulf there. You could take a boat out, some great fishing right off of there. Speaking of fishing, I mean, that's why some of this food and all this different other, sea creatures is on the menu right in New Orleans. It's great fishing there, great time. So I think that could be a lot of fun too for a group of guys getting in the sun, throwing some lines in.
Yeah, yeah, and just to be, I guess, a little bit more of a frame for the viewers, right? The city is situated between the Mississippi and I screw this name up every time. Lake Pontchartrain, I think that's how you pronounce it. So that's where the
Yeah, getting
city is,
potty
but
trained.
it's very close to the Gulf of Mexico, so it's a very unique location. Um, yeah, all right. So let's go. I'm gonna go and say, okay, the Superdome. You gotta recognize that there. The basketball team, football team, Pelicans, Falcons, or not Falcons, Saints.
Saints, yeah.
Right, and then they got tons of venues and college football plays there during special events as well. Check it out, see what aligns. Same thing goes for any of the events. Tons of parades. Like obviously everybody knows Mardi Gras. There's a lot of other events throughout the year that if you want to try to hit one of them or avoid it, right? That's another thing too.
Well, I mean,
You
you
go
were just
find.
talking about live music. The second largest than Mardi Gras is the Jazz Fest that happens in New Orleans.
Yep.
And I mean, that's massive. And there's parades and everything, and it's music everywhere. So, absolutely, those fests seem unbelievable.
For sure.
All right. Well, I like that sport aspect. So, I'm going to kind of piggyback off that, and I'm going to take it to the NOLA Motorsports Park.
All right. You got another one off my list.
Hey, let's go. There we go. Um, this is 30 acres of from go karting to riding in a Ferrari, which is like, oh, like you get the boys together and you're whipping around, get the helmet on and probably throwing up. I would think whipping around a track in a Ferrari, that's scary. I don't know. I would do it in a heartbeat. Um, but I think that would be so much fun, especially like go karting, racing the boys kind of thing. Playing a little maybe bumper cart kind of thing. I think that would be so much fun for a bachelor party, especially during the daytime, getting active, getting after it a little bit. Really cool. And I mean, this facility is huge and gorgeous.
Yeah. I mean, what's better than, racing some fast cars or bumper cars running into each other, just getting competitive against the guys. Oh man, that sounds so much fun. Um,
Yeah,
but
and you
but
could, I
speaking
mean,
of,
make it a game. Make it a game, right? Like loser has to buy the first round, or like if
true,
it's
they probably don't let you
whoever.
drink there. So yeah,
Yeah,
afterwards the round.
whoever wins gets to be best man.
Who planned the party then?
No, after, yeah, you thought you were best man, but everything's out the door.
Oh, that's great. Um, but yeah, I mean, speaking on that competitive topic, another sport that we both enjoy is golf. They have a pretty good amount of golf there. Some of the ones I got were City Park, uh, Audubon Park, and TPC Louisiana. Seems like it's a pretty decent golf destination if that's what your crew likes. Pretty easily grab a round of golf or two. Did you find any golf courses on your list?
I didn't put specifics down, but I did write there's 11 golf courses around, four of which are private, and then there's two that are like ultra public, and then there's the rest are semi-private, which means they're really nice courses, really good upkeep, and you should make your reservation early for them. But I mean, if you're a golf group, that is New Orleans could be awesome. Again, if you're not a drinking, I mean, I drink on the course. I drink anywhere pretty much. But cheers. But if your group's not drinking, golf could be just a really fun thing outdoors, getting some sun. Again, getting a tan before the wedding at the bachelor party, ideal.
Yeah. Oh yeah. All right. So what about if we're kind of keeping along the sporty lines? So I
Oh,
have.
you're just taking two? You're taking two?
Well, hey, you're the one who's got to be drinking and taking up time here. So I'm gonna keep going. We're going ATV off roading and shooting ranges. I saw them kind of grouped together.
Ooh.
So the Jefferson Gun Outlet was one that I saw was a really popular one, but that could be both awesome activities to do on a bachelor party.
I love that. I didn't even see that in my research, and that sounds awesome. I always think like the manly man activities, as much as like, oh, it's a stereotype, whatever. They just talk about monster cars and girls and whatever. Monster trucks and shooting guns is pretty sick. Like, that's gonna be so much fun on a bachelor party. Gonna go shoot some guns together, doing some different artillery stuff. So, um, well, I'm gonna change gears. Um, did you come across the country club on your research?
No.
Boom, let's go. All right. The country club is known for its private pool parties. Not private, it's like open, but you pay a cover to go in. But the pool parties are pool parties with a swim up bar and clothing optional. That's what it says on it.
No shit. Really?
So I mean, I'm thinking, party. I'm thinking that's going to be a time and a half. Um, yeah, I mean, pool parties. That's great.
Yeah. Not a whole lot of like actual activity that needs to happen. So if you're feeling a bit banged up, that could be a perfect activity to do on one of the later days.
Yeah. You have another or no?
Well, I guess I better let you go twice since I did, if you got one.
Yeah, I do. Well, we're talking a little bit about drinking now. Pool parties and golf. Um, I want to talk about the brewery tours.
Okay. Okay.
Yeah, there's. Well, I'm gonna kind of combine it, kind of take two here. Sorry, but
That's
there's
fine.
brewery tours and distillery tours and cocktail tours, all through New Orleans. Some brewery tours that I found that are some standout ones. There is the Courtyard Brewery and the NOLA Brewery and Tap Room. They give out lots of samples, and you get to do the full tour. Um, I think that's really cool. And cocktail tours. I mean, come on.
Yeah. All right. That's perfect because that was kind of the next thing I was going to hit on too. You grabbed a couple, but some of the other ones I saw were the haunted tours. So New Orleans is kind of like
Mm.
has a lot of haunted or alleged haunted history. So take you around pub crawl and talk about that, as well as the Sazerac House. I believe that's how you say it. Um, which they are the ones who created the Sazerac cocktail, which apparently is the official drink of New Orleans. Did not know that before this.
That's awesome, though.
Yeah,
I mean,
right. That'd be fun. They have like robot bartenders giving out facts and like telling you about the drink. It sounds like a really kind of cool, massive building too. Looked like a lot
when
of
in
fun.
Rome,
Yeah,
when in New Orleans.
right. Check it out.
Yeah. Well, I wanted to then get into. You kind of brought it up earlier, but I want to have a special section just here talking about Mardi Gras.
Agreed. Think we
This
need to.
is, yeah, I mean, it's what New Orleans is so well known for. Mardi Gras. Mardi Gras happens everywhere, yes. Mardi Gras in New Orleans is its own thing. The beads, the music, the costumes, the parades, there's the chaos that goes on with Mardi Gras in New Orleans. It's a bucket list thing for people. Some people want to see Ireland on St. Patrick's Day, which I heard it's not even that great. Maybe Chicago and St. Patrick's Day, or the different like I can't even think off my head right now, but the different cities for different like is known. The ball dropping in New York for Mardi Gras. New Orleans is the place. Um, this is the craziness that happens. Um, Getting a balcony on Bourbon Street is a way to go, but again, it's going to be a little bit pricey. You got to plan that out heavily. People, the how it goes is you want to get a like beads, like the necklace. They call them just beads, and to get the beads, you got to flash them. You got to flash the knockers, and then you get your beads thrown at you. Um, And it's funny, sometimes you'll see people with a ton of beads and you're like, oh, like, that person's having a day kind of thing. This party, though, of Mardi Gras that happens in New Orleans, it does not end until like a week later.
Yeah,
From
it's an
all day,
absolute,
all night, all day, all night, it doesn't end.
absolute nonstop, right? And just right, what is Mardi Gras? Mardi Gras is Fat Tuesday. People know what that is, right? It's kind of that pre-Lent ending, I guess. So it's really kind of just like this massive celebration that everybody just goes out. There's parades, there's partying, like you said, tons of different food. I think that's even where the king's cake comes from. So it's just a great time. From
The
what I
king's
hear, I
cake is where
haven't
you
been,
put
but I
the
would love to go.
the king's cake. Is that where you put the baby in the cake?
I don't think so. Maybe I'm not familiar if it is. I thought
Uh,
it was just like the cake all dressed up with fancy colors and um,
yeah,
like the Mardi Gras theme.
I think you put a little like plastic baby thing in a random slice, and then
Oh
it
yeah,
all
yeah,
gets
yeah.
served.
And
And
then
whoever
whoever
gets
gets
that, it's
it
like
gets
supposed to
to
have a
host or
lucky.
something.
Is
Yeah,
what?
whoever gets it's supposed to be like the host of the parade next year or something.
Oh, I thought it was like just like a year of luck kind of thing,
Okay,
like a
well, hey,
good
maybe we're both
year
wrong.
of good fortune.
If
Hey,
you
leave it
guys
in the
know, drop
comments.
a comment. Yeah, yeah, let us know if we're wrong
Yeah,
there. Um, but yeah, like so much to do during Mardi Gras.
yeah, yeah. I mean, that's it's going to be hard to get into. Remember, I said 17.8 million domestic visitors. I would probably say majority is coming from Mardi Gras.
Yeah. Oh yeah. Now we started talking about it a little bit. Unless you got anything else with Mardi Gras, I kind of wanted to do another quick section before we hit some of the nightlife.
I wanted to go in food before nightlife, but you
That
hit
was
a
that was the
section.
section. That's what I was going to talk about. I swear we don't talk about this beforehand, so that's pretty
No, we
crazy.
don't. We don't do. You guys think we're like planned out here? We aren't. We don't know what we're doing. We just go into it like, hey, you ready? All right, let's film it.
Yeah, no, I mean
um,
it's part of the reason we do the intentional separate research so we can bring some different perspectives. But yeah, it's pretty funny how we're thinking the same here.
yeah, great. Well, take it away with food.
Okay, yeah. So, I touched on it a little bit before, but this is a huge food city, probably one of the best in the world. That's at least where the rankings are putting it. Tons of that Creole influence with a bunch of fried different cuisines. So I guess some of them beignets, gumbo, jambalaya, king's cake. We talked about. Um, we'll get into it with the interview here. Apparently, fried chicken as well. Um, Sounds just like so much good food, but your stomach might be hurting afterwards.
I mean, yeah. I mean, I saw it's the best seafood, it's the best sandwiches, and best coffee. I don't know if you saw that.
No, I missed that one.
Oh yeah. So there's a everywhere I looked, I was like, hey, you got to be doing this for your brunch. It's this one cafe that's been there since 1860, and it has I think like Colombian influence maybe or something, but it has a big, or maybe Cuba. I forget what it said. I'm sorry, but this coffee is supposed to be unreal.
Hey, I'm there. Big
Yeah,
coffee fan, so I will definitely have to try that out.
definitely, definitely. And there's one in particular restaurant that I saw that I wanted to give a shout out to. Again, we're not sponsored. We're not telling you to go to these places. It's just we do research and we want to let you know what we found could be a good spot for a bachelor party. This is called Tops Meadery, Toups Meadery. Um, It has crazy meats. I saw Mississippi rabbit on there. I saw a ton of different seafood on there, and a ton of different like other like chicken, different like birds on there too. Also, though, which I thought was really cool, it sounds really good food wise too. But they also serve pitchers of cocktails.
Uh oh.
Yeah,
Uh oh. Okay. Make sure you guys pay attention to the interview. That's interesting.
I wish I knew it during the interview, but this is yeah, pictures of cocktails, and I was like, ooh, and you're eating delicious meats, like dangerous. But
That is
also a lot of these
dangerous.
like brewery tours have food there with it. It kind of like after the tour, it turns into like a restaurant thing. Really cool if you're planning that kind of day. That can be a really cool option.
One thing I'm very curious about: what is so special about Mississippi rabbits? Are they different than other rabbits? Why is that a
I
distinction? I don't know.
I just saw BBQ Mississippi rabbits, and I was like, like I'm intrigued.
Yeah, no, absolutely a unique thing, but I wonder why they have to designate it Mississippi. I'm gonna have to look into that.
Probably just saying it's how fresh it is. It's right there.
Could be, even though you're in Louisiana, but yeah, that works.
Mississippi River.
Okay, all right, true.
It actually may have been Mississippi River rabbits.
Oh,
Maybe.
all
I
right.
don't know. But also like
That might make some
frogs,
sense.
that was on
Yeah,
there. Big frog legs. And the frog leg there could be like chicken legs. They are huge.
interesting.
Yeah.
All
And
right,
frog legs. I don't know if like that's like a normal people that are like traveling from different places, maybe are like frog legs, like people eat that. That's a big southern thing. And they taste like chicken. They're really good.
I have not actually had a frog leg, so that's interesting.
Oh, and alligator. You can eat alligator too. Also, maybe a little bit chicken esque, but it also really good.
Yeah. All right, you ready to jump into this? What everyone's probably been waiting for?
The party that never ends. Yes, let's
Yep.
get into it.
All right. So Bourbon Street, right? This is
Yeah, I was
the
gonna say you gotta say the street,
legendary,
right? I mean, it's
yeah,
Bourbon Street.
legendary street. I guess technically the whole like French Quarter, which is that area, not just the street, is kind of like the party scene. But Bourbon Street is the one everybody knows. Um, like we said, open 24/7. There's no closing times that they have to abide by. There are open containers, and you can walk out in the street completely legal. Go into other bars with your drinks. Um, I've never been really in an area that's a thing, so that's just like kind of a culture shock to me. It probably feels absolutely illegal to be doing, but it's cool. They let it happen and encourage it. But yeah, I got a couple of lists of bars here that are pretty iconic. But you got anything else you want to add?
I wrote down 5 bars, and I just want to say there's more than Bourbon Street, but let me tell you, like Bourbon Street's going to be just pretty much bars. You're bouncing, you can zig the whole street kind of thing. There's so many bars. I couldn't write down all of them. I just wrote down some that were kind of unique or ones that people were like, "That's the bar to go to." I probably have 2 that you don't have, so I want to start with my first 2 and then see if you have them.
All right, perfect.
One was called The Wrong Iron.
Okay, I don't have that one.
You ever hear of it? No. So there's 50 beers, 10 wines, and a couple of cocktails on tap at this bar.
All on tap. Wow, that's
Yeah,
gotta
right.
be a big
So,
wall or big tap system.
yeah. So I thought that was real cool. Something to check out if your group likes beer. Go for it. 50 different beers. The next one is the Swamp.
Ooh, okay.
Oh, again, I didn't think you would have them, but I don't know. You're a smart guy, so I thought you made it. There is a wraparound porch on this bar, and also in it is a mechanical bull.
Yeah, that looked like fun.
Yeah, right. I think in the
Nothing like
interview
making the
too.
groom look like a fool on his party, right? That you gotta make him do it.
Yeah. Yeah. I mean, that's how memories are made. Have some fun. Step out your comfort zone. Drink a lot of beers. I mean, bachelor parties. Let's go.
All right, so yeah, I got some of the other mainstream ones that we probably both saw. Pat O'Brien's. This is kind of the home of Hurricane Cocktail. This is kind of like a famous cocktail that they have on Bourbon Street. Right,
Well,
a little rum and juice mixture. But go ahead, tell them the
can no,
tradition.
no. Tell me it. I want to see if
No,
mine
I
is
saw
the
you.
same as yours.
I saw you.
All right. Well, you take the shot. Whether it's on her belly button, her navel, or between her boobs, or whatever. you take the shot or just take the shot. You know, maybe it's a classier one. And then they, as you kind of just finish it, they splash water in your face and then smack you across the face. Sure. I would say order the groom 10 of those through the night and just have him keep getting splashed and smacked. That would be hilarious. Film every single one.
Oh man, dude, is he gonna be walking after 10? That's impressive.
He shouldn't be, right? It's his bachelor party.
Oh man. All right. So then I guess another iconic drink is the hand grenade. This one's at Tropical Isle. You find this one?
I did not know.
Oh, okay. Yeah, so this is
Wait, I'm sorry. Could you say it again? The Tropical
Isle. ISLE.
Isle. Okay.
Yep.
Good to know.
But yeah, it's home of the hand grenade, which is supposed to be kind of a secret recipe. They don't try to publicly make it known. I guess it's a Melanie drink with like vodka, gin, rum. Sounds like a Long Island iced tea, but Melanie version. Packs a punch. But yeah, that's another iconic drink. If you go to New Orleans, check out Tropical Isle.
And that is just a drink, not a bar, Tropical Isle.
I'm sorry. The bar is Tropical Isle. The drink is the hand grenade.
Gotcha. Okay, that's what I thought. But okay. Well, then let me hop in and give one because you just named two that I didn't have. The first bar you said sounded a little Irish, but this is an Irish bar. It's called Finn McCool's Irish Pub.
Okay.
That's a staple on Bourbon Street. Finn McCool's.
Interesting. All right.
You give me another one of yours.
Did you have the best karaoke bar in the world on your list?
I don't think so. Is that what it's called? The best karaoke?
Meow? No. That's what it's known for. The Cat's Meow. A huge karaoke bar. That's kind of what it's known for, yeah.
Well, I have the Spotted Cat.
Interesting. No.
Interesting.
Well, the Spotted Cat, from what I found, is actually on Frenchman Street.
Ooh, okay.
So.
I mean, I heard that was a staple of New Orleans, the Spotted Cat. Interesting. So maybe I just did bars and not just Bourbon Street.
Yeah, so I mean, I guess just to frame it right, Bourbon Street and Frenchman Street are kind of the two major bars. Bar scenes. But right, they're intersecting almost at an angle like what Bobby was just showing. Bourbon Street's definitely your absolute crazy party, like almost degenerate vibe. Whereas Frenchman Street is probably a little bit more classy and definitely more focused on the jazz music scene. So I also had the Spotted Cat. I don't know if you had any notes about that, but it looked like a cool spot.
Yeah, no, it looks cool. The only other one I wrote down of my 5 list, because it sounds like you didn't have the 4 I wrote down except Spotted Cat. So I'm going to say this last one just to see. It's called the Peacock Room.
Nope.
See, there's so many bars in New Orleans. This is why, we're doing this different research, is because we both have totally different stuff. This is just another really cool bar. I didn't have anything really unique about it, but it's more of the club vibe, I believe, and it's I just was writing down some staples of New Orleans. So check it out if you're there.
Yeah, and just to round out my list, then kind of focused over on the Frenchman Street side, I had the Blue Nile and DBA. Again, those are both mostly like jazz focused kind of clubs, but they seemed like pretty cool spots. So, I'm sure we didn't even scrape the surface. There are so many bars and clubs kind of along both of those streets and all throughout all the French Quarter within New Orleans. Oh, yeah. One other thing about bars, though, I do want to mention. I saw online that a lot of these smaller ones are cash only. So make sure to bring cash if you're going there. Bring it out, pull it out of the ATM before you go.
That's great to know. I mean, that's someone, getting screwed over by an ATM then. So be cognizant of that. But let's hear from someone that actually was there.
Yeah.
So,
Let's do it.
so MJ was a great friend of mine, and we have him right now. All right, we are here with MJ. MJ, how you doing, man?
Doing great, boys. Happy to be here.
Excited to have you on here, man.
Yes,
Thank you.
sir. Yes, sir. Excited to hear about New Orleans too. Um, you did a bachelor party there. We want to hear all about it. So, how long ago was this bachelor party?
So this bachelor party was 2 years ago. It was my first bachelor party that I've ever been on, and life comes at you fast because that guy who got married just told me this week he's having his first kid. So
Hey,
uh, we we
Congrats.
look back. Yeah, I'm super excited for him, and we all look back on that trip and still talk about it.
well, we want to hear everything about it. You weren't the one planning it though to New Orleans, right?
No, I wasn't in charge of planning it, so I didn't have much influence. I kind of showed up, and his brother had planned everything. But I would love to go back. There's plenty of stuff that I saw down there. If I have another bachelor party down there, I got plenty I could plan. So
Before we get into the fun part here, so you're part of the bachelor party. How do you know the person getting married here? What is that relation?
so the guy getting married is a guy I grew up with. His house was like 2 blocks away from the house I grew up in. So we were childhood friends. We went to private school for high school together. Um, and worth mentioning, it was an interesting group. So he is Egyptian and comes from a very old fashioned Egyptian household. Uh, and a majority of the guys on this bachelor party trip were all Egyptian. I was actually just one of two guys that were not Egyptian on this trip. So it was
Dang.
a fun crew. Yeah.
That's cool. And then how many of
So
you? How many was it?
I would say we probably had a good nine or ten of us.
That's a solid
Awesome.
group. Yeah, 9, 10. It's a good
Yeah,
range. Can kind of get into everywhere still. That's good.
yeah. Super great group. Lifelong friend. Uh, First bachelor party was so exciting. Yeah.
And what time of year was it like you guys were going?
So yeah, that actually matters for one of the things that we had planned. This was during the winter. Since it was a couple years ago,
Hmm.
I forget what month exactly, but this was during the winter. Still a great time. I might recommend going during a warmer time of year, and I'll get to that later. But yeah, winter time.
Awesome. Awesome. So you went in the winter. How so all right. You're all kind of getting there. What day you guys like plan on getting there and meeting up?
So I'm pretty sure we all got there on a Thursday, and I got there on Thursday. Some people had to come Friday because of work. Um, and we had his brother was part of the bachelor party. Like I said, this is a big Egyptian circle, so I'd met some of the guys before, but a lot of them were from this the Egyptian community in North Jersey is like they all know each other.
Mm-hmm.
So it just seems like everyone knows each other. And I was with a crew that a majority of them like were really close already, and I was only close with maybe one or two.
All right. I like that. I like that a lot. I mean, yeah, it's a bachelor party. You're gonna get along with everybody, right?
Right off the bat. I mean, within 30 seconds of everyone being in the Airbnb, it's like first drink is open. Let's do this, boys. Like everybody's just ready to go.
Set the tone
That's
early.
awesome.
Make sure you're having a great weekend. Love that.
Yeah.
Great. So I mean, let's get into it. You guys get there. What's kind of like the on the agenda? Like, what do you guys start doing? Like, how does it all kick off?
So the first night we did a bit of drinking at the Airbnb. We all agreed to walk around, see what was in the area, to see what bars were there. One good thing about New Orleans is it's pretty walkable depending where you are. So we were really close to a lot of bars, restaurants. So after a little bit of pre-gaming, we all went out. Very first night, found a bar, tried to find the name of it. I can't remember, but I would imagine this represents like a good amount of bars down there. Uh, so first night, I ended up singing karaoke on stage, and I had some good liquid courage in me. Um, there was like a group of moms in the crowd, like front row ahead of the
Perfect.
stage, and yeah. So I was like, all right, I need a song that I know literally every word to, and I chose Mr. Brightside,
Perfect.
Classic.
crowd favorite. Yep, right away. Uh, so I had like the lights flashing on me, stage that's elevated, and one of his cousin actually joined me on stage. Weirdly enough, guy did not know the words to Mr. Brightside. I was, and I didn't find that out till we were on stage. So my voice was dominating the stage, uh, but the crowd obviously like joined in, and I had everybody singing it. And after performing, got to watch everybody else go, and we ended up finding a bachelorette party that was there. I was a taken man. We had some other taken men on the trip, but just for the sake of having a good time, we like combined forces with this bachelorette party. Uh, Made the groom and the bride to be do some shots. Had a huge group, and that bar night one was great.
What a success. Night one, I mean, you're getting with a bachelorette party, you're up on stage singing, getting the crowd going. I mean, then the rest of the nights must have been like, can we live up to that? I mean, that's insane.
Yeah, it was a good night one for sure. Yeah, everybody had a little bit of a hangover the next day, which is always tough starting off hot. But you just have the adrenaline of the bachelor party to just take you through that. So yeah.
Now,
That's
are there
great.
a lot of bachelor and bachelorette parties? Did you see a lot of them there? It seems like a pretty popular destination for this, but in your experience.
We came across a few, but not a whole lot. I mean, I've been in some other cities like Nashville where you see them everywhere. Like a
Mm.
lot of bachelorette in particular, I think there, but I wouldn't say a strong presence. There were definitely bachelor and bachelorette parties present, but I wouldn't say it was like noticeable.
Okay. Okay, so that's even more impressive than first night getting with the bachelorette party and combining forces. That's cool.
Yeah, yeah, absolutely. And the crowd, though, I would say the crowd was like a mix. You had young, old, but a majority. I was like 26 at the time. I would say a lot of people fell in the bracket of like 20, 21 to 25 and upper 20s. So
Mm.
a ton of people in their 20s that were down there.
Dang, and this was in the winter too. So I mean, I wonder
Well,
is that the popular time then for winter to go down south?
so one factor that we found out during our trip, and I forget what like function this was for the universities, but uh, it was like Alabama and another southern school. They had some sort of event down there where they had to like bring a date. I can't remember what exactly it was, but when we were down there, it just so happened that like all these young Alabama kids were down there. Like some of the bars were dominated by Bama students,
Mm.
and they had their dates. So we were actually like on the older side. There was all these college kids.
Wow, that's kind of weird. 26 years old and you feel like the old guy.
Yeah, it was fun though because we ended up hanging out with a lot of them, and they thought we were the old ones, so they kind of got a kick out of drinking with us. And I mean, still able to go pretty strong at that age we were at, so it
Yeah.
was fun.
You're seasoned vets by that point. Yeah.
Exactly. Yeah.
Dang. So then
Awesome.
day two comes around. What's going on day two?
Day two. So during the day, we walked around like the main part of town. There's a cool square. One thing that's very noticeable is like they have a ton of like artwork. You'll have like people making their paintings, whatnot, and selling them. Picture like basically New York, how they have people selling stuff on the streets, but it has its own little New Orleans flair to it. So a lot of it'll have influence from New Orleans, a lot of music stuff. There's a ton of like little coffee shops and places to sit outside. But one place I told Bobby about was we got lunch, and this place was called Willie Mays. It was kind of like on the outskirts, if I remember correctly, but uh, like best fried chicken sandwich I've ever had in my life. I remember biting it, and
Whoa.
my first thought was like, I need to get like I'm already looking forward to whenever I go back so I could have that fried chicken again.
That's a big
Whoa.
claim. Best fried chicken you've ever had. That's a big claim. All right, New Orleans for
it
fried chicken.
it's a big claim, but I when I was sitting at the table, I took a picture of it, and I don't know if it was just that I was in the mindset, but in that moment, I was like, "This is the best fried chicken sandwich I've had."
That's real interesting because normally you hear like the gumbo and po' boy, jambalaya, that stuff. So fried chicken, that's good to know. I wouldn't have guessed that.
Yeah, that's a pull.
Yeah, absolutely. And I will say, like, when you're down there, you're gonna have a lot of fried food. Like, by the last day, you'll probably wish for something not fried because you're gonna have po' boys, catfish, crawfish. Um, like the amount of po' boys I had was almost, it seemed like every other meal. uh, but like in the moment, everything's delicious. Food, I would rate the food very high. Like I think it was this was either night two or night three. For the table, we just got like a giant mound of crawfish, and where you gotta twist it, pick it apart, and we were all just crushing cocktails and having a mound of crawfish. So it was awesome.
It's not bad. Not bad at all. Man.
Yeah.
Did you so you were walking around day two though? Did you guys like have anything planned or just kind of explore and see what's around?
Day two was more exploring, and that's when I was introduced to the concept of just open container, carrying it wherever you want. Like when you're on Bourbon Street, you can have a drink that you bought at one bar and still be finishing it, and you just bring it right in to the next bar you go to. So that was like kind of a shock factor at first,
Yeah. I mean, that's
and
That's cool.
insane. Like, are you kidding me? I mean, in school, in college, I went to Westchester University, which I saw people just getting pulled on the streets constantly for open container. That's awesome. New Orleans has it.
yeah, it completely changes the game. Like like it
Hmm.
just makes it so fun. Not I mean, it's just like a free for all. Like everybody's just walking around, and then if you're not in a bar, you feel like you're doing something wrong because you have a drink that you're sipping on down the street, but everybody around you is doing it. So uh yeah, we got used to that. And funny little story I wanted to share, and this is just a lesson to be learned too. I had like all this cash in my wallet. I think I had like small bills, um, like a bunch of small bills, and then I had $100 bill. So on Bourbon Street, you have like all these little street performers. Also, again, like kind of like New York City, and there was like this father and son duo just sitting on the ground. They were beating drumsticks on like plastic buckets,
Mhm.
and they were just jamming out. Um, so I'm like, all right, we're heading to the bars. Like second night, I'm gonna give this kid. He had like a bucket for tips, so I was like, all right, I'm gonna give this kid $1. We're walking 30 seconds after I give this kid $1. did not give him $1. I gave the kid $100 bill. I
Ooh,
was like, shit. I was like, do I go back and like go to his bucket and say like, sorry, pal, I gave you 100? But I was like,
yikes.
this is gonna
Oof.
be some good karma. I let the kid keep the $100.
Oh my
I
gosh. I
made his
mean,
day. Oh my gosh.
yeah, yeah, made his night, but oh, that's gotta hurt. That's gotta hurt knowing you did that.
Yeah, tough hit to the pocket right away. But at this point, it's just something funny to look back on, and I'm
Yeah.
glad he got the 100.
I mean, why'd you have all those ones though? Were you planning on something else there on this
I
bachelor
don't
party?
know. Maybe if you do want to spend ones, you got options. You can spend
Yeah,
one somewhere.
yeah, I like to hear that. All right,
Yep.
that's
So
awesome.
yeah, that was day two. Day three. This is where the time of year plays a factor. So his brother had planned this like little excursion where we had to probably drive like 30 minutes outside the city, and it's called Cajun Encounters. Shouting out that place. And it's a alligator tour on a fan boat,
Oh,
or I think that's what they're called, fan boat,
yeah,
right?
yeah. Big giant
Yeah,
fan behind you.
yeah,
Oh
yeah.
yeah.
So it was funny just because like I got this big Egyptian crew, and like these people are real, just like Cajun locals, probably not used to seeing like Egyptian people. So it's just funny having this crew. And so yeah, we get out on the boat, and since it was cold out still, this is where it matters. We did not see one gator, and they're all in hibernation. So you might want to go if you're going down there, if you can, when it's warm out, because they told us if you guys came when the weather was warm, you would see probably 40 to 50 alligators during this trip.
Dang, and you
So
saw zero.
we saw zero, but we were still having a good time on the boat, just run, they're whipping it. We saw a bunch of like swamp raccoons. Like there's like a community of raccoons that are just like embedded in the swamps and like climb the trees and stuff. So we were throwing them food. Um, but yeah, I was dying to see a gator. I was kind of disappointed that we didn't get to.
You're not seeing the gators up in Jersey, so had to see one in
No.
Louisiana.
Yeah, and they say some of them get like monstrous. Like they're like you'll see a ton of them, and there are some beasts. So
Mm.
I was like, oh, come on, I want to see some gators. So next time,
Did you eat
Man,
any
just
gator?
did I eat gator?
Yeah.
I think so. I think we had gator at some point. Uh, maybe like some gator sausage.
Mm.
So yeah,
Fire. That
yeah.
sounds fire.
But yeah, definitely recommend. I mean, that excursion. I feel like anyone going down there for a bachelor party who wouldn't want to do that. So highly recommend.
so
Awesome.
besides the city, right? You mentioned there's a swamp area. Is that kind of what the terrain is like? Is there any other activities in the area you recommend, or if you went again, you would do?
Outside the city, I didn't really get to see a whole lot of it. We definitely stayed in the city for the most part. But I would say that there were some spots that you might want to like look up for live music, because we ended up finding some spots that were having like jazz. Like jazz is a real like authentic thing you could do down there, and we just happened to find that one of the last nights I remember. And that was just awesome. Like it was a group of guys that had to be in their 70s, probably been playing jazz down there since they were like our age. So like a real authentic experience. We did go to a basketball game, Pelicans game. That was fun. Uh,
That's sick.
so
Yeah.
yeah, everybody's betting on the game, winner buys drinks, stuff like that. Um, and yeah, so that was um, Wish I had a little more to recommend outside like the city, but
No,
not much else there.
I mean that sounds like an awesome trip. Still, I mean, going to a game, you're checking out live music, going to bars, doing karaoke. I mean, it's pretty cool. And then doing the Gator tour too. I mean, that's a lot. That's a full trip to me.
Yeah, yeah, it was awesome. And like the group that I was with, like I feel like it was cool because I mean, I would say I was like more of the partier of this crew. Like I went to Penn State and I'm used to partying. This group of guys are a little more like conservative that I was with, and they were kind of like breaking outside their box. Also, a lot of like med school guys were on this trip.
Mm.
So they're guys that are like always working hard or studying, and they don't get to like blow off steam a lot. So seeing these guys in this environment was really cool. Um, there is a spot. I also wish I had the name, but I'm sure with a little research, people could find this. It was a like a dueling pianos thing. So like you got the
Mm.
guys like going hard on the piano, and everyone's vibing in the room. The dueling pianos was one of the more fun nights we went to for live music. That was awesome.
Mm. I've been to some dueling piano bars before, and I mean, when the crowd's into it, that can be so much fun.
Yeah, that was a great time. There's plenty of things that are automatically gonna get like the energy of the group going. Like you almost can't go wrong. No matter where you're gonna go, um, it's just a good time. And then like with all these Alabama kids down there at the time, it, like it was funny. This had to be maybe like the third night we all like got divided somehow. I don't remember why, but the group like was just fractioned apart, and I ended up alone with the cousin who's the guy that I sang Mr. Brightside with, and me and him ended up posting up at this bar for like maybe 5 hours, and just going back meeting everybody at the Airbnb. But this is where we met like this Bama kid. His name was Emerson. Shout out Emerson. Still got him on Instagram.
Let's go, Emerson.
So
Listen to the
Emerson was
podcast.
yeah. So Emerson was like this young Bama kid who just found it interesting. We were from New Jersey, and he was with his date. We're having a good time, and we're just posted up with this kid at the bar for like hours, and he's got his girlfriend with him, and we're just talking to him. Uh, Girlfriend ended up getting a little wild. Like, I don't know if he was more into her or what, but she was kind of a free spirit. Long story short, this kid ends up going to the bathroom, and while he's in the bathroom, and this is like, I feel like this kid's like my little brother at this point. The girlfriend like ends up like kind of making a move on the cousin of the groom,
Let's
like the guy I
go.
was with.
Oh.
So like he's hesitant. We've been with this kid the whole night, but uh they like go to the dance floor and the two of them are dancing, and this kid comes back and he's like, "Where'd they go?" I could see in my vision like behind him like the two of them dancing, and it's getting a little not okay. And I'm like, I don't know, man. I'm like, let's go do another shot. Let's just go over the bar. Kid ends up seeing them dancing, and I guess this has happened before. So kid ends up going over there, gets pissed. This great time we had is suddenly like over, and we're like, all right, we got to get out of here.
That's a bro play by
No.
you though. You don't even know this cousin, and you're like, I'm not ratting him out. Let's go. Like, I love that. That's a bro play.
Yeah, and for what it's worth, I mean, I still have this kid on Instagram. There's no pictures with this chick, so I'm pretty sure it did not work out.
Sounds like
I mean, I could
probably
have
for the
guessed that.
best.
Yeah, I could have guessed it from the story. I think that she wasn't going to be that loyal.
Yeah, yeah, but it was so fun having those kids. The crowds were just awesome. Like it's cool to be in a bar where there's a live band, but instead of just the stuff you see up here, like you got a guy going hard on the saxophone or some wind instrument like that. So it's got its own little flair of New Orleans at all times, and like out of any place you can go, like it's in your face that you are in New Orleans. Like it's not going to be similar to being in New York, Pennsylvania, I don't know, any other
Mm.
state. Like it's very obvious at all times that you're in a different type of culture that has its own personality to it. And it's unlike any other. Like I really can't compare the music, the food, the overall vibe, like the architecture. Really can't compare it to another city. So the uniqueness of all the bars and all the activities, I would say, it makes it like just a really strong play for a new experience. If anybody wants like an experience of a completely new taste, like a taste of culture, you got to go down there.
Now, kind of piggybacking off of that, you said your group was a little bit more tamed and maybe not the party goer like you were. Would you recommend what kind of like person or group should go to New Orleans? Like, should it be that party goer nightlife person, or should it be that more tamed version?
I mean, I would say that it's highly compatible for a group that already likes to like explore and party. Like that's highly recommended for sure because it's only going to enhance that mindset already. And I would think that it's it lends itself best for that. It was cool to be with a group that's a little more
Mm.
conservative, but would I say that necessarily means you're getting the most of it out of it? Maybe not. I still got a ton out of the trip. It was so fun, but it serves a different purpose for a group that's a little more not used to partying scene. It could facilitate those guys getting out of their shell or thinking outside the box and doing stuff. So I think it's good for either category for sure.
I like that.
That's cool.
Okay.
That's cool. So when it comes to the partying side, how late were some of these nights? I've heard that New Orleans kind of never closes really. I mean, I don't know if you guys got there, but how late? How late in your experience were things going on?
So that's where, due to the group I was with, these are guys that are med students or med school guys. Their sleep schedules are way different than mine. These guys are used to
Mm.
going to bed at like 9 o'clock, and they wake up sometimes at 3 a.m. for a shift or whatever, depending what stage in the med school process they're at. So the nights were always late, but maybe not as late as it would be for a different group. There's plenty of spots that are open late night. Like there was another fried chicken is a thing, I guess, because there was a fried chicken spot open really late. I remember standing in there, you know, way past midnight. I don't know, sometime late, and that was no problem. Everybody's out. Uh, like the streets are mobbed with people. Like I keep saying New York City, but like it's just um, the closest comparison. Like you're going to be shoulder to shoulder with people almost every hour that there is, and you'll see like kind of barricaded blocks. You'll have police presence, but then between that, you have this free for all happening. You're shoulder to shoulder. Uh, Chances are you're gonna have like a funny or weird interaction like every 2 minutes because there's people that try to come in our bar, like come drink here, or someone's trying to sell you something. I remember there was like a gypsy lady or someone doing like psychic readings, and I think one of the guys sat down for like a psychic reading. Like there's just endless. If you like people watching, there's no shortage of like characters that you're gonna interact with.
That's incredible.
So, do you think so? Just from like what I'm hearing, based on kind of what you're saying, the you weren't there during like any of the like Mardi Gras or like any of the festivals. You did have the Alabama, but that wasn't like a set thing. You don't really need, from what I'm hearing, it's like you don't need to be there during the festival or Mardi Gras. You can go and the nightlife's still there.
Yeah, I would say that's accurate. You do not need that. I can't speak to Mardi Gras because I've never been. That's a goal of mine. But I would imagine it could be hard to get in places with the lines because it was already so crowded. So I'm sure there's pros and cons to going during and not during Mardi Gras. Not during Mardi Gras, which is what I can speak on. You're not going to have a shortage of things to do. You definitely don't need it to be Mardi Gras to have a good time with a lot of things going on. If anything, there might be certain advantages to it because you're not waiting in super long lines. You could probably hit more spots not during Mardi Gras. Um,
Hmm.
but with it, I would imagine that my experience is like Diet Mardi Gras. Like I can only imagine everything is probably just amplified, and I
Yeah.
can't even imagine what it would be like. um, but yeah, no, you got plenty of things to do any time of year.
This is
Awesome.
so random, but are beads a thing, or is that just Mardi Gras? Is that New Orleans, or is that Mardi Gras?
There might have been some beads, but I think that's really Mardi Gras. I don't think we were walking around rocking beads.
Okay.
Um, we might have had them on just because that's the culture down there, but it wasn't really a factor.
Hmm. You weren't flashing people to get beads.
No, no flashing going on. You probably, if you wanted to see that, definitely Mardi Gras.
Definitely Mardi Gras.
But like another funny thing is like you can drink anything down there. I don't think we were having a lot of beer. I was having a lot of like they got a lot of sugary drinks that bars will make, and I had a whole mixture of things. But one funny story was one of the guys that doesn't drink as much. We're having po' boys for lunch, sipping on old fashions at like I don't know 12:30 in the afternoon, old fashions, and this guy's loving the old fashions, and we're really having a good time with our waitress. Her name was like Sweetie Pea or something. She said to call her Sweetie Pea, but the guy who's loving these, not a big drinker, ends up going, "Hey, I'm really liking these old fashions. Can we get a picture of those?" And we just all start laughing. We're like, dude, you can't order a pitcher of old fashioned. Like, and the waitress starts cracking up, or like, you just can't have a cocktail, a pitcher full of it.
Yeah, that's basically the bottle. I
Oh
mean, just give me a
god.
bottle itself. Oh my god.
Right. Yeah. But
Jeez.
so yeah, we were drinking everything from cocktails to seltzers, beer, whatever. I think I had everything on that trip. Bourbon, you know, I mean, you might as well drink the flavor of the town you're in. You might as well embrace it and drink what everybody down there is drinking.
Yeah,
Yeah.
absolutely. Might as well try the culture while you're there, because when you're not, you miss out. Now you said on that second day, Friday, it was kind of a little bit more chill, exploratory. Do you recommend having like one day that's kind of a little more low key on a bachelor party?
Oh yeah, absolutely. I mean, not only so you could see the city, but everybody needs that recharge. So like luckily for us, it wasn't the summertime, but the weather was completely sunny and like just walking around, getting that fresh air, and having a little breather, I think is really important because then you all can look forward to going out at night. So you definitely need a buffer at some point. I think no matter what city you're in, but in particular, being that New Orleans has so much culture to see, it just makes that stage of the trip even more enjoyable because you're going to see stuff you're not used to seeing. Like in the center of town, there's a big grassy green area that people are just hanging out, sitting on the grass. Um, I think somebody even bought like a piece of art that was pretty cool.
Hmm.
There's water that you can go walk along the water and kind of like do a little more sightseeing stuff. If you want to take some wholesome pictures, everybody could send their girlfriend. Look, we're just sightseeing. Get some little pictures. But yeah, there's like so much. I think that buffer period is important, and it's just going to be a unique experience. During the day, I will say that's when you're going to get more of like the touristy, maybe older crowd. So you'll
Mm,
be walking, you'll see a ton of like older people that are down there too. And then at night is when it kind of transforms into the party scene.
that's awesome. So your experience there were some things you said you wish you kind of did or saw. Overall, I want you to give me a rating. What would you rate New Orleans for a bachelor party? 1 out of 10, and you can give me, the point, the bar stool, the rating.
Bachelor party. Okay. Bachelor party rating 1 to 10. I would say, I mean, I gotta give it a solid. Hold on, I'm really thinking this out.
I
I wanna
mean,
make it
walk
precise.
us through the
Yeah.
breakdown. Walk us
Yeah,
through it.
yeah.
What's going in your head right now?
So I'm factoring in food, music, bar scene, overall vibe. Um, the
Cost?
food cost. Pretty. You can make it cost friendly for sure.
Okay.
I think you could do that with any city too. But overall, you don't have to drain the bank down there. Just don't give a kid $100 the first day. Um, I would say so. Let's break it down first. Like for food, I give food a high rating. I mean, food is going to be uh, 8 out of 10. Now that comes with a certain downside. You're going to get tired of eating that particular type of food. So while it rates strongly for the food, by the time you get tired of it, that kind of skews the scale for the food. Um, music more consistent because you're still going to get normal classic music you're used to listening to, but if you want to find that New Orleans music, you can do that. So
Hmm.
also high. I give the music a 9 out of 10 and more consistent. You're probably not going to get tired of it. Um, Overall vibe and bar scene. I mean, I'll give that a 10 out of 10. Where else can you walk around, open container, go through bar to bar? That's a 10 out of 10 in my opinion. So, and then just the culture of the city, being that it's unique, one of a kind, you really can't find anything else like it. I got to give that a 10 out of 10 because you just can't compete with a place that is not compared to anywhere else. Like that has to be a 10. So, I mean, overall, let's give it a 9.1 out of 10.
Wow.
Ooh, all right.
That's high, and I like that. I mean, that's a great breakdown of everything. You got to do some unique things, which I like. You kind of said, like looking at some gators. I know you didn't see any, but you got to do that. The town sounds awesome. I mean, yeah, I'm real excited about it. I kind of didn't break this down for you before, but the whole reason we started this podcast was because two of our friends got engaged this past year, and I've been thinking about what to plan a bachelor party for one of them, and I've been thinking of New Orleans, and we're all kind of a very big party kind of. So that's what, like, one question I asked was like the tamed versus partiers. We're definitely more of the party side, so that's something I've been thinking about is New Orleans.
Dude, you can't go wrong. If you go down there with a party group, it's only going to bring out like the animal in everybody. And it's just going to amplify like everything. Like the energy that you bring there, even if you go in there with low energy, you're coming out with higher energy, without a doubt. It's guaranteed. So if you
Mm.
got a group that's already high energy, you're just going to prolong that high energy with the group. So you'll have a blast if you go down there. I mean, if you go down there, and I'm excited to hear it, and then if you get some new spots, I would love to go back there another time in life. And I mean, I'm not done with New Orleans. I definitely plan on going back. If I could go for Mardi Gras, absolutely would love to go. Uh, it's just a great city. It's an old city too. I mean, like in terms of like aside from partying, like everybody should just see New Orleans. It's got so much flavor and character because it's been around for so long. So there's history
Mm.
behind it. And like when you're walking around, I mean, if you have a hangover and you want to get some fresh air and go outside, you might as well see some like old buildings that have been there forever or some classic cars, whatever's in the neighborhood. Just really cool. And yeah, I mean, that's why I give it such a high rating. I think anything is what you make it. So if you intend to squeeze out all the juice you can, then you got plenty to work with. It's a city that gives you plenty of canvas to work with for sure.
That's awesome. That's so awesome,
That's
man.
great.
I'm so excited to dive in a little bit more here with Kroboth, and then I got to go there at some point. So absolutely, even if it's not for a bachelor
Absolutely.
party. Yeah. Oh man. MJ, dude, thank you
Yeah,
so much for coming on here, man, and I appreciate it so much. Unless Will has anything more to talk about.
No, man, I appreciate you coming on. I love the insight, and sounds like this place has got a flavor for anybody. So appreciate it.
absolutely. Thank you for having me, guys. I look forward to checking out the rest of these episodes and getting some recommendations from the other places.
Absolutely, man. All right. Thanks again. All right. How about that for an interview, huh?
Heck yeah, dude. Thank you, MJ. That was great.
Cheers, MJ. Appreciate it.
Yeah, I mean, what a good story. What a good perspective to get to hear. Man, this is only just adding to my expectation. Or, I mean, let's not count our chickens before a hatch, but think it is a good probability we're going here, and I am so excited, even more excited after hearing this.
Again, I'm in the early stages of planning, but I mean, after everything we just heard, sounds like a phenomenal trip. After doing our research, I mean, this is again, every kind of group is different. I'm taking on based on what my guy has said, which I encourage everybody to do. Even if you're the best man and you're like, I love to go out drinking, I love to party, New Orleans will be the best, but your best man just really wants to, kick back and drink a beer with the boys around a campfire. Put that into consideration. It's his party, not yours. But saying that, knowing the knowing the group, knowing our group, New Orleans sounds like just a great fit.
It does. It really does, dude. Oh my gosh.
And it really sounded that same way for MJ and his group. It sounded like they were partiers. Sounded like they had a great time. Getting up on stage, singing for groups, meeting up with bachelorette parties and hanging out with them, and doing different things, trying different things, kind of taking easier on the days and going out at night. Like it sounded like New Orleans was a great fit for them too. So hats off to that best man too.
I want to, yeah, I'm glad you brought that up because while they all did seem like they were, into that party vibe, it was very interesting that MJ was almost like a lone wolf at the beginning. Like he didn't really know anybody else except for the groom. But then everybody kind of embraced the spirit of the bachelor party and celebrating for the groom, where he just kind of fit right in there, and I thought that was really cool. Um,
And I don't know about you, but I want to go party with some Egyptians now. That sounds awesome. It sounds. He kept saying that. He's like, we're a great group, and it sounds awesome. I'm ready for it.
they did, but I mean, on the same token of that, it's you mentioned that there's a lot of like med school guys and guys who are really kind of trying to get up early, or at least typically are. So that's something that I kind of took away from this was you have to consider who is going and what their normal schedules are. Not everybody's going to want to get up at 4 a.m. or whatever time they were getting up. Some people are going to be sleeping in, right? So you have to take that into consideration, especially if you're going to event plan. Is this going to be too early? Is this going to be too late? How late are we going to be going on a night? Can we count on everybody making it to 2, or are people going to start dying off around midnight? Right? Those are all things that you really seriously need to consider before throwing an itinerary together.
Yeah, especially like daytime. Are people really getting up at 8 a.m. if they stayed up till 4 a.m.? Again, the city doesn't sleep. It's going to be going on all night. You kind of have to take the accountability. If I'm staying till this bar closes, I'm not really doing anything in the whole morning. Count that out. Because, I mean, as much as we want to say, I'll sleep when I'm dead, you got to sleep at some point.
It is a sad reality of the world that we live in.
But with that being said, too, you pack up the day, you might not even want to stay out that late, even though there is that crazy party going on. I mean, you're having fun times. Fun times is just take the most of you too, especially like that brewery tour we talked about. If you're hitting the casino during the day, if you're going to a Saints game or like a Pelicans game, like you're going to be drinking, you're going to be screaming your head off, you're going to be having fun. It's going to take its toll on you when it comes to the night.
Yeah, it is. It is. But the saving grace is if you do have those late nights or the long days, and you're feeling it the next day. The New Orleans food sounds like fantastic hangover food. I know we touched on it a little bit before, but MJ's talking about these fried chicken sandwiches, po' boys. I think we forgot to mention that earlier. Every
What are we doing?
fried food in the book just sounds amazing. Soak up all the alcohol, get you right for the next day, ready to go again.
Yeah, I mean, sounds great. And MJ's breakdown of his rating of a 9.1 out of 10, and he gave a rating per different category in his head. I mean, it's great. It sounds like he just had a great time there, really appreciated everything that was offered to him. There's beautiful places to see. It's not just like we're hitting the Bourbon Street and just bars and that's all that there is. New Orleans has so much to offer, and I think that is really cool. Sounds like it was really easy for everybody to get in. The airport only 20 minutes away, so really cool.
Yeah, yeah. Right. With all those activities, though, just something to be aware of. Doesn't just apply to New Orleans, kind of everywhere. Take into consideration the time of year you're going. Um, right. I mean, not just the events. We did talk about Mardi Gras a little bit, the other festivals, but the alligator tour on the swamp boats. Right? If you're gonna go in the winter, like MJ experienced, you might not see as much as if you went in a warmer time. So, keep those things in mind as well.
Also, just keep in mind though too, the South gets a little bit warmer earlier too. So, like when we're filming this, it's the middle of February right now, and I'm in South Carolina, which still northern than Louisiana here, but we're in the 70s right now, right? So I mean, it's like you have to consider that as well. That early springtime or kind of thing, it can be very nice out there for you, and actually might be better than the scorching hot summer, and not quite as cold as the winter where it's going to be not seeing any gators.
Yeah. All right. I have a question for you. Are you ready?
No, go for it.
It's not that hard. I just want to see what was your favorite one of MJ's funny stories. I'll see if it's the same one that I have.
Oh,
I'm between two. I got two, and I'm wondering what you're gonna pick.
I don't know. Wow, what am I gonna pick?
All right. I kind of put you on the spot. You want me to go? And then
Yeah, I'm blank. I literally just listened to the interview and I'm blanking now. Yeah, go for it.
Okay. I'll save the one. I'll go with the other one. I think it's this guy Emerson, man, with his girlfriend, maybe not girlfriend. Emerson, if you're still with her, leave her ass. She's not worth it. But that was such a funny interaction. And MJ's just like sitting there watching it all unfold. It just sounded like something out of a movie.
That wasn't going to be mine. I was kind of debating. I like the story of giving the little kid $100.
Okay.
And I was also debating singing karaoke in front of a crowd of moms is awesome too. I think everybody loves a little moms getting hyped for you up on stage and then having your boy blank out on the words. So then you just stand up there killing Mr. Brightside. I actually think that's going to be my favorite. The Karma $100. That's a funny story, watch yourself, but killing Mr. Brightside on stage in New Orleans for some moms sounds hilarious.
No, that's great. I kind of forgot about that one, actually. I thought the other one that you might be going with was the old-fashioned pitcher story. Where his buddy said, can we get a picture of this to go? And then I think it's funny that you found a bar that actually does do cocktail pitchers. So they're clowning him for getting an old-fashioned pitcher, but apparently if they went to one of these spots, they could have got it.
They just chose wrong, that's all. They just chose wrong.
Luck of the draw.
I would have loved if the waitress. I would have loved being that guy and the waitress being like, no, we do pictures, and having everybody in that group just go, like all of them clowning him, and then it actually
Just let it
happens. That'd
happen.
be
Let them all
that'd
get
be
their
sick.
jokes out and be like, all right, but you can actually do that.
If you're the best man, go to that place, that meadery place that serves the pitchers, and be like, yeah, can I get a picture of whatever? And everybody's gonna be like, what? And you'll be like, yeah, I know because I listen to Drunken Suits.
Got you all your different tips and tricks. Subscribe and follow for more.
Yeah, there we go. But all in all, New Orleans, great place, man. And MJ murdered the story, murdered the interview. Sounds like just had a great time there. I bet out there is so many more stories out there of some crazy times in New Orleans. I mean, if you're out there and you're listening to this, or you know somebody that has a crazy Mardi Gras story from New Orleans, I need to hear it, and I need to have them on Drunken Seats. So please reach out to me or have them reach out to me. I need to hear what Mardi Gras is like in New Orleans. I've heard a little bit of stories and reading some Reddit stuff of, buses full of strippers, and I've read some crazy things. I need to hear the stories firsthand. I need to know what's going on. I need to know what I look again. I'm thinking of planning a bachelor party here, and there's so many people out there that are probably thinking the same thing. So please let us know those crazy stories and what direction we should be going in.
Yeah. Tell us your stories. We want to feature them. That's a big part of this show, right? We want these crazy stories. We'll get them. We'll work them in somehow, right?
Yeah.
Absolutely. Let us know.
Hey, you're married now. You have kids. No problem. We'll keep you anonymous. We want the stories. We want the craziness. So just please, come on.
Yeah. So, we want to give our ratings here. Let me hear what you got.
I'm ready. You want to go first, or should I?
No, I want you to go first. I want to hear what you say.
Well, I would love to give my little breakdown of why I'm doing this, right? Because that's what we make MJ do, and that's what we want our guests to do. I don't want to just give you a flat out rating. This is a bachelor party destination, right? So people come here for bachelor parties. That's already up there. There's a street full of bars, which I love. I think drinking is part of your bachelor party. There's people that don't drink out there, but I think it just goes hand in hand. If you want to sponsor us any alcohol, let us know. But again, I mean, so many people travel here. It's got the food, it's got the alcohol, it's got live music. The food is some phenomenal, different kind of style foods, different influences from everywhere. It's not just nightlife, but there's so many things to do during the day. Different things that are, not necessarily typical your everyday life, which is really cool. Going to see some gators, going to a sports event. It's really got it all in New Orleans. Temperature there can get pretty hot, but doesn't really get that cold. You can kind of go there all year round, and maybe not see the gators and that kind of stuff, but it's going to be, a destination whenever. You can pretty much all groups go there. The nightlife just seems unreal, doesn't sleep. I really haven't said anything bad about this place yet. All right. I mean, MJ did hint at a little bit that the crazy people do live here, and you're going to see some crazy things. I think that did knock it down a little bit in my set, where there's homeless out there. There's, not that that's a bad thing. I'm sorry if you're homeless. That really sucks. but
Yeah.
When you're out partying and doing all that stuff, it's hard if there are actually crazy people and you actually have to feel unsafe there ever. You don't want that on a bachelor party, and you never want to come home with a crazy story. Someone gets stabbed on a bachelor party trip and ruins everything, right? So I'm going to knock it down a little bit on that. But MJ's 9.1, I think that's really fair, but I think I'm giving it a little bit up. I'm saying a 9.3 for bachelor party ratings. What would make it perfect? Maybe just get out but like the the crazies give it character. The unsafeness gives it the down part, right? So like crazies, I'm all for having some crazy people, and that's gonna make you laugh. That's gonna have some stories. Do you remember? I don't want to throw anything out there, but anybody that's listening, do you remember Bat Meth? That was a story from a crazy guy that was on meth at wasn't on a bachelor party, but it was the night before a wedding. So I'm just saying, some crazy people are not the worst thing there, but the unsafe aspect brings it down. I'm saying, what did I say, 9-3 or 9-4? 9-4. 9-4 is what I'm giving it.
Okay, cool. Because that's why I was like, no, because my rating was going to be pretty similar. So yeah, I mean, you touched on basically all, right? Just the quick, high level overview. New Orleans, you got Bourbon Street, Frenchman Street, French Quarter, partying 24/7, tons of wild nightlife, jazz music, incredible food, tons of outdoor possibilities from swamps and fishing to off roading, golf, those type of things. Just an absolutely unique city. So, with that, my rating was 9.3. So I'm glad you switched yours to 9.4 right there. But yeah, we arrived pretty much at the same thing. This seems like a highly sought after bachelor party destination.
Well, for you, what brought you down from just a flat out 10 then?
Well, I don't think I could ever give a 10. That's, there's always
Yeah.
something could be better. Yeah, I think it was probably just that aspect of when you bring the crazy, like you were saying, that brings a level of fun. But once it gets across the line, there's that danger aspect. And obviously, you don't want anybody in the party going home hurt or, with a too negative impression of the trip. So that's pretty much the only thing that brought it down. Um, I don't know if we talked about it, but like the cost of living, the cost of prices, it seems pretty reasonable too, especially for a big city, right? It's not gonna be cheap, but it's not overly expensive. So yeah, not a whole lot to really bring it down here.
And it can get expensive definitely during Mardi Gras or different fests going on, especially if you're right in the center, with a balcony over Bourbon Street. Yeah, I mean, what do you expect? It's going to be going up. Um, it's an international airport right there, so flights aren't going to be absurd. Everything's walking, so you don't really need like an Uber or like a rental car. Yeah, pricing, it's not terrible. I would be spending some money on some food because it just sounds like unreal. Again, when in Rome, right? Like you're having some good food. So yeah, yeah, this drunken
Awesome.
debauchery isn't so bad.
Nope, no, it's not. But I think this was an awesome episode. Thank you everyone for listening. Tune in. Make sure you're following, subscribing for more. We can't wait to keep this going.
Yeah, me too. And again, if you have that crazy story and you're wondering how to reach out to us, you're going to see our social medias. We also have an email. It's drunkensuits@gmail.com. Let us know. We'd love to hear from you. Thanks, guys, for listening.
Thank you.